I can't remember I can remember. The last time I had a vodka cran was in the middle of bowls. I tried to get a vodka cran post-college, and I couldn't even swallow a sip because I feel like just my college body was like, oh, yes, vodka crayons. And now I'm like, vodka. The way that people smell tequila and react is the way that I smell vodka and react.
The way my alcohol, like liquor goes, it would be tequila, rum, whiskey, vodka. Vodka bottom. Get that shit out of here. And gin. Ugh, gin is so dry and disgusting.
Gin is horrible.
Gin and tonic water. If anyone ever suggests that, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
Okay. Yeah, no. My grandpa drinks like neat gin every day. It's horrible. And I remember when I was younger, he would always be like, come here, have a sip of my water. And I would take a little sip and I'd literally be coughing and like, get that out of here. What is that? And he'd just laugh. He thought it was the greatest joke of all time. Maybe that's why we're all alcoholics. Interesting.
Roll the intro.
We just wanna party, call me tequila shawty.
Kaitlynn.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God. Hey, y'all, what is up? And welcome back to Kiss My Glass podcast with your hosts, Marissa, Kaitlynn, and Allison, because Allison's at the bottom of the totem pole.
Fuck you, bitch.
That's how it's always been.
You're only at the bottom because you think Joe Burrow is cute, and you also think Pedro Pascal is cute. So
I never said he was like... First of all, do not even group him and Joe Burrow in the same category, because Joe Burrow is far superior.
we're kicking off today's episode with another drink of the week, and today's drink of the week comes from Jessica.Corrigan on Instagram, and she suggested that we have a vodka cran. And to be completely honest, like I already said, to me, vodka cran was always my go-to college bar drink, because I didn't know much about alcohol because I started drinking as a senior, and I didn't know anything. I didn't know what to get. I didn't know taste. I don't know anything. And so everybody had vodka crans, so I got vodka crans, but I fucking hate vodka.
I hate cranberry juice, so that's my issue. And like I said, vodka, if it's mixed in well, I can't taste it. But when I don't like cranberry juice and vodka is not my top priority. I
didn't know vodka was a priority.
It is to some people.
And vodka's not my top choice. I'm struggling.
I made mine today in an Ohio State glass because today that we're recording this is January 11th. It is the Ohio State game, so fucking go Bucks. But I honestly, this isn't bad at all. I think I'm just used to Bowls, which is the shitty bar on campus with bottom shelf vodka and just probably 3-year-old cranberry juice.
I'm pretty sure it has to be Shitty K. I know with how much liquor they go through, it has to be Shitty K.
What vodka did you make your vodka cran with today, Allison?
Amsterdam. So it's the same company that makes the Pink Whitney stuff.
I made mine with Sky vodka. It's pretty good.
Ooh.
I'm actually intrigued. I'm okay with drinking this for this episode. So thank you to who suggested that. If you're listening to the podcast right now and you have your drink of the week, take a picture of you listening to the podcast and post on Instagram, tag us. We want to see. I have been dying to tell you guys this. I already hinted at it at a text this morning when I said that I had a dream that I was dating David Dobrik.
Dude, I was like, what the fuck? I was on a call and I saw that pop up and I was like, you're fucking kidding me.
But the dream was just it was crazy, and I need to tell it to you guys. So this is definitely my high. Well, also a low because then I woke up and it wasn't real. But I literally had to write this all out so I wouldn't forget it.
Of course you did.
So okay, so basically it started with us at some event together, and we ended up being alone in a room somehow. I don't know. And it wasn't anything sexual. It was just we were in a room. And he asked me, I don't know why, which option I liked for his social media bio. He showed me this thing or whatever. And he's
oh my God.
He's like, which one do you want or like? And I go, well, I think this one is more like you. And it's more, tailored to whatever kind of weird shit I said. And he was just oh, she knows me. Oh, she knows who I am. She knows my bio. I don't know. It was really fucking weird. And then somehow, obviously, dreams are fucking crazy. It jumped to us being at some random house, and we were just watching movies or TV or something. And I just cuddled up next to him, and he cuddled up next to me. One, I also need to preface this with it's not that I don't like David Dobrik. I don't know why I dreamed about him.
That's what I'm confused about.
Yes. Kaitlyn's obsessed with him, and I don't really watch him no, I don't have any infatuation with David Dobrik. So I'm like cuddling with him, he's cuddling with me. I literally had my hand like on his little inner thigh. Like, I don't, why David Dobrik? Could have been anybody else for all, like, please give me like Michael B. Jordan, but like, why David Dobrik? And then we were like walking outside or something like that, and he, in public, okay, but when no one is around, he would like put his arm around me. But then when people are around, he would like stop because he didn't want our relationship to be like public yet, you know.
Kaitlynn looks a little jealous right now that you got to have this dream.
I know.
No, I'm literally like cringing because this is reminding me of those stupid movies, Allison, the After We Collided and After. If any of you have watched those, watch them now.
I love them.
They're so cringy. Allison loves them.
I only love them because the guy who plays, like, I forget what the...
He's not cute. He looks like a 12-year-old lengthy white boy.
Oh my god, he's so sexy.
No.
That's Allison's type.
True.
But yeah, so he would only like put his arm around me when no one was looking, not because he didn't want like his friends to know, but just like the public, because you know he's fucking famous and shit. So in general,
you don't want the paparazzi on you.
Yeah, no paparazzi. So then one day his friends came around or something, somebody in public, and he like kept his arm around me, and I was like, oh my god, he didn't take it off. Like, oh, our relationship is moving up in the next level, you know, like we're like public. And I was so excited. And then it got even better, because then in like true David Dobrik style, at some point, this is all like fast forwarded, like I'm pretty sure we were dating for like a couple months at this point, he told me that he wanted us to be like officially public. Like, I think only a couple like random people saw us, but he's like, I want to make it like official, you know, like everybody knows. So
did he circle the date on the calendars on a bunch of them and post an Instagram picture?
No.
Oh, that's just Liza Koshy.
He said that he wanted it to be in a video, because obviously his videos are amazing. So he wanted like this whole video not to be about me, but it was basically going to be this whole like skit that we were going to do, that by the end it would show that like we were some jokey thing. I have no idea, like in David Dobrik little hilarious stupid joke faction. But then at the end, he like, instead of what we were supposed to do was something stupid, I don't even know, but he just like pulled me in and just like kissed me, and then the video ended and everybody was like going crazy, being like, oh my god, I love them, the cutest couple ever.
Could you imagine if the first David Dobrik vlog that came back after all of
it has Marissa in it
and everything was the one with Marissa,
and that's how
it?
Griffin finds out.
Oh my god. I know, I swear, like I remember vividly like kind of coming out of my sleep halfway through the dream, and I was like, no bitch, you're going back to bed, you need to finish this through. and then
Marissa, this is what I actually need you to do with your life. I need you to become one of David Dobrik's assistants.
I would love to.
I need you to get in the inner circle and bring me in.
I would love to. I mean, he's fucking crazy, but I would love to.
And then I'd be in the video.
Oh my god. And so yeah, and then when I woke up, I literally had to immediately text you guys, and then I wrote it all down so I wouldn't forget. I genuinely woke up and was kind of like, damn, why am I not dating David Dobrik?
So does Griffin know that you're having dreams about another man?
Right before he left for work, I was sitting at my desk, and he was like, I can only see him through the like cracks of the doors here by the front door, and I don't know why, I just kind of was like, I had a dream last night that I was dating David Dobrik, and he looks at me, he goes, we're gonna unpack that later, and then left. We're gonna unpack that later. And I was like, well,
speak it into existence.
I'm dating David Dobrik. No, literally though, like obviously, you know, his first video coming back would get so many views. Just imagine.
Everyone would be like, who the fuck is this bitch? Like, this is what you've been doing, David?
I used to dream about that when I was like little, especially with like Justin Bieber and shit. And I'm like, Justin said in J-Teen magazine, J14, that he would date a fan, and that fan better be me. And I would be so upset that it wasn't me. It's my high and my low of the week, is that I was dating David Dobrik, and then I woke up and then I wasn't dating David Dobrik. But again, still confused why it's David Dobrik. I don't know.
Yeah, that is really random.
It is for me. Like, I can see Kaitlynn having this dream, but not me.
Interesting. My high of this week was two of my friends came up from my hometown, and I took them a little bit around Columbus, so like we went to High Bank for dinner. And then before they left Saturday, they came up on Friday, and then they left Saturday, we all got matching tattoos.
Ooh.
And then I also got another tattoo, which I did tell Stacy about already.
Wait. You told Stacy about both of them, or just the one?
Yes, both.
Did she strangle you?
No, because I posted the one picture on Instagram. I reposted it from Jenna. She called me and she was like, what'd you do this weekend? Because, well, you know how my mom knows everything, Allison. Before I do anything bad, she calls.
Did she call you before you're getting a tattoo?
Yes. So what happened was you weren't allowed to walk, or you weren't allowed to like stay in the tattoo shop because of like the capacity with like COVID and everything, and how small it was. So we all took turns like getting it. While we weren't getting it, we were sitting inside of Melt. Ashley went first and then Jenna went. So then I was walking out of Melt, like walking back down to High Street Tattoo. And my mom starts calling and she's like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, I can't really talk right now. Like, we're going into this restaurant. Like, we're about to get a table. Like, we're going to sit down and eat. Like, Jenna and Ashley up here. And she's like, oh, okay, that's fun. Like, just call me later. I was like, oh, of course. Little does she know, I'm literally walking in to see my cousin. And as soon as I walked in, I told him. He was like, I swear she knows everything. Because she has called the past 2 times that I got my tattoos.
Is your cousin a snitch?
No.
No.
How is she
no.
knowing then? Who tells her?
No, she just has this sixth sense.
We would go to do anything bad. I remember it was really bad, like when we lived in the old apartment, like up in Gahanna. And it was like any time I went to go buy like Kaitlynn alcohol, I'm about to go in the store and she gets a call from Stacy.
Like, what are you doing tonight? What's going on? So yeah, that was funny. My low of the week is today was like a day I had off and I've been working 15, 16 hours every day for the past 10, 11 days. So I guess that would be my low.
My high is a low and a high. Figuratively and literally a low. I went on a date. The date was fine. Like, he was very nice, and this is why I feel bad. He was so nice. They're never nice. And I'm like, why is this guy so nice? And then I get there, and I literally see him hop out of his truck. And when I say hop, I mean hop. It was like a free fall for a minute. And then I realize he's like 5'5", maybe.
You're just telling everybody how shallow you are right now.
I'm not being shallow about it. It's hard because I'm 5'6", so it's like, I can't.
That's not even that much shorter.
But why can't you? If he's if he's so nice, everything else was great. Like, you're literally only saying no to him because he's short, which is shallow.
That's not the only reason. Like, it was just like I can't. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm sorry that your date went amazingly, but the man was too short for you, Allison.
It was just awkward.
We're going to dive into today's episode, which we wanted to kind of focus on the expectations of college, or what we thought we were going to expect going into college as high schoolers, what we found out when we got there, just kind of like giving you the real on everything college. We asked a couple questions on the podcast Instagram, which is kissmyglass_podcast. You guys should definitely go follow that. We wanted to go over those first before we dive into like our own little, expectations or things. So the first question that I asked you guys was college what you expected it to be when you were in high school? And do you guys want to take a guess on the percentages here?
80% no, 20% yes.
You're correct.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah, 80-20. And honestly, I want to know who the 20... Well, one, I guess I should ask you guys. Was college what you expected it to be while you were in high school?
No.
That's okay. Me as well. So I'm wondering who the 20% was, and like, how were you so set up for success, or like, how did you know exactly what you were going to get into in college? I'm very curious. I also asked, I wanted you guys to like write in some, answers here. And I asked, what was the one thing your teachers always said in high school about how college was going to be like? And some of these definitely like hit home for me, where I was like, ooh, damn, I was told the same thing. But there's also some things that like I was never told.
Can I just guess one of them?
Yeah.
But when they're always like, I'm just prepping you for college. College is going to be so much harder than this class. And then you get to college and some of your exams are like, write a smiley face for this answer for 20 points. Like your gen ed classes.
And you don't even have to show up to class for half of them. It's great.
No, yeah, there was definitely a lot of people that said that. Alexis, Allison, you're little, she said the respect difference. Teachers were so strict, but college professors are easygoing. But her high school teachers told her that like this won't fly in college, which I always got
because
told
they treat you like you're an adult and you're also paying them lots of money, so they don't really have reasons to beef with you like high school teachers do.
Right, they're gonna get paid whether you're there or not, so they really don't give a fuck whether you pass or not. They're getting paid. So
yeah, in high school it's just you have to be there, you have to show up. If you like miss high school, the offices are calling your parents and
literally, where are they?
And then in college, you could not show up for like a whole semester, and then that professor will see you at the final and be like, oh, you're in my class, and like move on. Like, as long as you're getting your stuff done, nobody cares how you're getting it done.
Yeah.
This person said that they were always told that they were going to have so much more homework in college. And I'm curious if y'all got told that, or if you think that you had more homework in college than you did in high school.
I feel like it was
no.
evenly distributed between high school and college, because you had some classes where you had to do a lot of stuff that was mandatory, and then you also had other classes where nothing was really required. It was like, if you want to learn it, you're going to put in the work yourself, at least for my major.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was going to say that's for your major, Kaitlynn, because as a psych major, and Marissa can relate, it's either a paper or it's an exam. There's nothing in between.
Ours was always like problem work. Like, you have to do these problems to get better
Yeah.
note for the exam. So like, if you did your problem sets, then you should be good. But if you aren't doing your problem sets, then you're going to be behind on what we're doing in class and whatnot.
I will say that the psych degree, I guess maybe you didn't, Allison, but I know my first like maybe 2.5 years was just so heavy on reading. Like, every
Yeah.
class had a giant textbook, and they had you read like 60 pages a night or some stupid bullshit.
Yes.
And that's I read a lot in high school, but I felt like I had a lot more reading my first few years of college.
No, I definitely agree with that. And then, like, the worst part is, like, for psych, not only would they make you read a lot, it's not like the next day you show up and it's on the slide. Like,
No.
you actually had to read.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, here's the debrief of the textbook. It was, you need to read the textbook, and then you need to come to class, because both of those things will be on the exam. However, I will not, overlap any of them.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't learn any book material in class, and then nothing from class in the book. And it was like 2 different classes lumped into one.
I literally would buy
Literally.
my textbooks and open them maybe once throughout all of my courses. I just stopped buying my textbooks because I was like, I'm never going to look at these. I don't use them for anything.
Definitely my junior year, I stopped buying textbooks after that. My last 3 years, I never bought them. Not that I didn't have readings. I just said, fuck that shit, because I hate reading. And so my first 2 or 3 years, I had really good grades because I did all my reading, I did all the other stuff. But I still passed all my classes. You just can't get an A unless you're reading and you're like doing the work. But that was one of my I always did in all my videos. I'm like, oh, here's your tips to get an A, and you need to do all these things. I didn't do none of that shit. Okay, I never fucking read. I didn't fucking sit in the front of the class. I mean, I kind of did, but all those things, like, yes, you can do, and yes, they do help. But by my junior year, I was like, I hate reading. I'm not reading 60 pages every night for 3 different classes. I'm not reading. And I got by. Amber says that my teachers told me that I wasn't going to succeed with asking too many questions and handing my work in late. I think college professors are really lenient on, well, some of them are really lenient on deadlines. Like, the good ones, a lot of the psychology classes are, because our whole thing is like psyche and mind and stuff. So they're like really easy on you as far as like, if you're too stressed, they want you to take care of yourself. But I can
Yeah.
see how other, maybe like engineering or other like majors are really strict.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it doesn't become like a habit, I feel like most professors are way more understanding. Where in like high school, like if it's late, and they're like, nope.
My classes, a lot of the stuff that we would turn in, it was either your exam or set towards the end of the semester for like a paper. So you had a long time to do it, like research papers, research projects. Like I said, the problem sets and stuff, like those were optional. You didn't really have to do them. Or we had weekly like posts that we had to write out. Oh my God, what was that one thing called, Allison?
What was that one again? You always forgot to do it.
It's not Top Hat.
Fuck Top Hat. I hate the professors that take attendance. They can all suck my
I
dick.
literally would have my friends send me the code, but then they started doing that smart thing where they would track your location.
Yeah.
Some of the professors,
They would,
and I was
like, geotag
that's
it.
some bullshit. Yes.
Yeah. They can turn it off or on. So some professors don't care, but some of them do. And that's the thing, is I feel like it is really hard to do this whole like expectations versus like reality, because it is different with every professor. But like, because some of them are really strict and will geotag that shit, and your attendance is mandatory, will never give you extensions and make you read. Like, some of you'll get some hard ass teachers, but also just drop that motherfucking class. I have done that so many times.
What I've experienced, the only professors that are really like that are like the GE professors.
Yeah.
They're tired of people taking their classes like nothing, and that's all their classes
Yeah, because
are.
it's stupid.
Literally.
Like, I'm going to school for a biology degree. Why the hell am I still taking a geography class?
Right. But like the professors who were GE teachers, like their courses were like easy. They're the real ones. I forget what I took, but it was like some like geology course about like crystals and shit. And literally the grade, like you could have failed the entire class, but as long as your last exam grade was higher than your first, then they would give you the exact grade for the course that you got on the final exam. I got an A in that course, and I literally failed every other exam before that.
That's the thing is I just wish that professors would just realize what they're doing and who they're teaching to, because I feel like all of my freshman and sophomore classes were so much harder because typically you're taking more gen eds, and all the gen ed classes were just awful, and you were stuck reading a lot, you were stuck doing attendance, like it was just more strict. And then once you get into your actual major classes and you're not in those gen eds, like things got a lot more easier, like just less work. Your professors really understood like what you could handle, and they just wanted to actually help you. But a lot of the gen ed professors like suck.
Pack back questions.
Pack back, that's what it is. Pack back.
They were literally the worst thing I've ever done in my life.
I had one professor do pack back and I hated it. I literally fought this man in class. I raised my hand and was like, why the fuck am I paying for this when Carmen allows you to do this, and also Top Hat is free?
Exactly.
Literally.
Yes, I hated them.
Like the university pays for Top Hat.
Exactly. I literally hated pack back, and I would sit there and it was just like you had to ask like questions about molecular genetics, write your discussion and like your argument on what you thought it was, and then you had to reply to 2 other people, and you had to have above so many like it would have like the light bulbs or like the points that you would get. First of all, that's bullshit, because this is so much extra work. Like for you to get those points up there, like your posts have to be like a whole ass essay.
I don't care if they wanted me to put that much work into, like, whatever. If the main problem I had was that I had to pay for it, because I'm like, there's so many free resources that you're choosing for me to use Packback just to fuck me over.
Allison would literally hear my alarm go off on Sundays, and she'd be like, pack back, and I'd be in my room like, shut up, I'm not doing it.
No, but here's the thing. Before she started having to set an alarm, she would straight up forget about it until like 5 minutes before
Because
it
I
was
didn't
due.
get a notification on anything.
Yeah, because it's not connected to Carmen.
And then I'd be out partying, and I'd be like, oh my god, I have my pack back responses
I'm pretty
due
sure
tonight.
she did her pack back while we were at a bar one time.
Oh, I've done it multiple times, yes.
Going back to Amber's first half of her question, though, she said that she was told that she wasn't going to succeed asking too many questions.
I think that's false.
That makes no sense.
Professors always encourage everyone to ask questions, and there will be times where it's awkward in the room because they're like, anyone have any questions? And everyone's just kind of like looking at each other like,
Because you didn't pay attention to that lecture. They're like, got any questions? You're like, nope, I'm good.
The only class that I never asked questions in, because I'm definitely one of those people that I'm not like embarrassed to speak up in class at all, which I know some people are, but also that's what office hours are used for. If you are too scared to raise your hand or ask questions in public, like go to office hours. They are so helpful for your TA or your professor. But the one class that I never asked questions in was any kind of econ class, because that was in like Independence or something. So it was like a 600 person lecture hall. And I was like, I'm not screaming at the top of my lungs to ask this question. And I just waited, or I emailed it. But definitely that's false. Like, do not let your high school teachers intimidate you of like not knowing what the fuck you're doing. Like nobody knows what the fuck they're doing in college, and the professors are there to help you and utilize them. Like go to office hours, ask them as many questions as you want. You will never be docked points, or you will never be like, no question is a dumb question.
And it puts you in a better standing with your professors, because they're happy to see you. They're happy to help you. A lot of them truly want what is best for you. If you go into the office hours, it doesn't even have to be questions. Sometimes you can just go in and talk to them, and they will help you with like life problems too, like a therapist.
But no, I think it also in college, like professors understand that like college is not the only thing you have going on. In high school, like the only other thing you have going on is maybe like a part-time job, and for most people, this is for most people, or sports,
or like extracurriculars that you do, like band and stuff like that.
But in like college, like people have like, some people have like full-time jobs and are still trying to go to college, and they have
children.
Yeah.
This one's interesting. Megan said that I was told that my professor would never write out notes or have PowerPoints. I have some beef though, because professors will have notes or have PowerPoints, but them bitches will put like 3 words on a PowerPoint slide.
Because they expect you to read about it more.
Yeah, they expect you to read in the textbook, and then they also expect you to listen and like take notes about what they're saying. But the thing is they either talk too fast, I can't write everything down, and then I miss stuff, which I can't relay back because they don't have it in the notes. So some professors will be really like hard in that sense, where they will make sure that you're reading, or else, you know, if you don't read, then you could just read the PowerPoint and ace the class. So they kind of like take away the PowerPoint, or they'll have like fill in the blanks and stuff that you have to like go and find those answers. But I've never had a class that didn't have a PowerPoint, at least.
Oh, there was a class that I took at Wright State. His slides were like the title of what we're discussing, and then he would just speak. There were no notes.
So I've had
nothing.
classes like that too, and what I always did was I would take out my phone and like record the whole lecture. But it's annoying because in that hour and 20-minute class or 55-minute class, you're supposed to be able to get it down then and like go over your notes later when you get home to study. No, I would have to like go home, keep going through the recording so I could hear what he was saying, write out my notes. So that took like an extra like 3 hours.
Some of my professors at Ohio State wouldn't let you record their lectures and stuff because of like intellectual property issues.
I know. I had to email him and ask. He's like, this is what he literally said. He's like, you're allowed to record, but you have to send me an email asking me if you can record.
Oh, I always recorded. I didn't even know that was a thing. I had no clue because like none of my professors had ever like specified that in the beginning of their course or anything. So I always just recorded, and I still have them in my phone, but half the time I didn't even go back and listen to them because I was like, I'm so far gone. I'm lost in the sauce.
Never mind.
I don't know what's happening.
Well, usually the professors that care will mention it, so they probably didn't. Because I specifically had teachers say like you cannot record, and also like if you're wanting to look at something on the slide, they wouldn't let you take pictures of the slides or anything like that because it's like intellectual. Like they were so hard on like the whole plagiarism and like this is my intellectual property and you can't record me or take pictures, blah blah blah. So some professors will be dicks like that.
Yeah, I mean there were like a couple times in like my classes before everything like went online where they would only have the PowerPoints in the class, and like if you needed to get notes from someone, you would literally have to ask the classmate or read on what the section was from the syllabus, but the notes would not be posted online, which could be frustrating. But a lot of my professors did post notes, like their lectures, and then extra notes that they might have taken too.
Yeah, I hate professors who like actually have like PowerPoint slides and then like don't put them on Carmen, which makes no sense to me because I guarantee that you already have them saved on Carmen because I see that's how you pull them up.
This one's very interesting and definitely true because I was told this. I was told this about high school, and that high school is the best 4 years of your life, and then college is going to be like the best 4 years of your life. And so Lyd said that I was told that it would be the best 4 years of my life, which it is, but they never said how hard it would truly be.
Yeah.
Which I thought, not that it would be just rainbows and butterflies, but I did think that it was going to be mostly highs. Like I thought I was going to be, living my best life in college for, 90% of the time.
I think it's because of how it's portrayed in like movies.
Movies are the biggest perpetrator of like, or just media in general, of making you think that it's going to be the best thing ever. And so I definitely came in thinking that. And as soon as things weren't up to my expectations, I thought I was like failing. Like if I didn't have a friend on move-in day, I was like, fuck.
If I didn't have a friend on move-in day.
Well, because you always hear about the girl, like you go random and you make your best friend and then they're best friends for 4 years and like that's your whole thing. And then my fucking sophomore year went random. That bitch was fucking crazy. And then freshman year, I roomed with a girl that I went to high school with, but that did not work out very well. Like it would just, my whole like perception of what I thought college was going to be was not in the aspect of like social life and like friendships.
Going to college, because like high school, it wasn't horrible for me. High school, I was just not the person that interacted a lot, but I also didn't not interact. Like if someone talked to me, I would talk to them, but I wasn't going out of my way to talk to people. I wasn't going out of my way to go to football games. I wasn't going out of my way to like make plans every weekend with someone. Like it was just, if it happened, it happened. If it didn't, it didn't.
Yeah.
So I wasn't in with like the in crowd that did stuff every weekend and all that stuff. But I feel like it could have been better if I would have done more. But going to college, I had this like thought process, like this is going to be the best 4 years of my life. Like I'm going to end up like finding the love of my life there. Because I feel like that was always like a thing that was like portrayed in movies too. Like once you're out of high school, like you're going to go away and find like the love of your life.
No, I remember Kaitlynn after your first year and you broke up with your ex, you were like, it's fine. I'm supposed to find the love of my life in college. And I just looked at you and I'm like, okay.
Yep. And honestly, I was thinking this today. I was like, I've honestly never been happier because I don't rely on anyone anymore. Mm-hmm. And I'm okay being by myself.
You just said like being by yourself. One of the things that I also wasn't prepared for was how like by yourself you would be in college.
Yes.
And not even in the sense of like I'm alone, I don't have friends. It's like you eat meals alone, you're gonna walk to class alone. Like most of the time you spend a lot of time alone.
Like in class you're like not alone, but you're alone.
You might make that friend next to you. Like I always had a girl or a guy wherever I would sit that would talk to me every day. But other than that, like we would never talk outside of class.
Yeah, once the class is over, you're never speaking again. Like Kaitlynn has never lived in a dorm, and I think that's the most disappointing thing because I wish I could see her function as a dorm college student.
You never lived in a dorm.
Me?
Allison did.
You lived in an apartment style dorm. That's not a dorm.
No.
No, she had a single dorm.
I never had to share a room. I paid
Okay, so
extra
shut the
money
fuck
to
up.
get my super single, which was a double room that was just for me. It was like a loft style apartment.
No.
I had to share the bathroom with the girl next to me. I had a suite mate.
Neither of you lived in a dorm and had a roommate. I'm the only one that has actually lived in one room with someone twice, and it fucking sucks. While we're on the roommate topic, I also, not even just roommates, but just like living in the dorms, expectations that I didn't know I would have to have conversations about was like general public spaces staying clean. Like the amount of times that I went into the bathroom and there was like, hair on the bathroom, or literally like pubes on the fucking walls, or just like hair in the drains. Or one of the main things in Siebert, this wasn't on my floor because it was gendered floors, but we literally got an email from our fucking hall director saying that guys had to stop jacking off in the shower because their cum was clogging the fucking drains.
So
and I'm
nasty.
like, where am I? Like, I did not expect that to happen, one. But then on the girl side, they're not even that much cleaner, because in the bathroom there would literally be period blood everywhere. Like, nobody would wrap their fucking tampons or pads, and they would just be like sitting open or like on the floor. They would try to like throw them in the trash can or something, and they never made it. It was disgusting. And then also you have to wake up like an hour before you need to go somewhere to wait in line to shower. If there was a line, you had to make sure that you like timed yourself right, because if there's only like 4 showers, which there was on my floor, with like 42 people living there, like you have to make sure that you shower right.
Kaitlynn would be living the life because the expectation of her not showering would be 0.
I don't have the patience for that. Like when I shower, I gotta get in now or I'm not getting in.
Literally.
That whole thing, like just living in conjoined spaces or shared spaces, is something that if you've never had to do, you better get fucking ready for it, because it is a whole like eye-opening thing that I wasn't necessarily prepared for. Emily said that she was told AP classes and tests are great college prep, and SAT scores are good indicators of future success, which I think that's the general consensus that every high schooler is told, is that you better get a good SAT score, because obviously your SAT score is what gauges you for, SAT, ACT for success in college. And obviously that's what colleges look at. But I know people that have gotten really shitty SATs and ACTs that do great in college, and then vice versa. People who get like the most you can get on an SAT, ACT and fucking flunk out.
Yeah.
I will say, I don't want to speak for you, Allison, but I'm sure you've come across these questions a lot because, undergraduate admissions, counselors, I would say that I would take post-secondary classes before I take AP classes if you have the chance.
100%, because now colleges, like just speaking from both of us working in undergrad admissions, you take an AP class, yes, it's a great GPA booster for a high school GPA, but colleges have also now learned they like recalculate your GPA to match like a normal like 4.0 GPA versus like I think like for AP, like if you start taking AP courses, it's like based off like a 5.0 or something like that.
I did a lot of the College Credit Plus classes. I did 47 credit hours before going into actual college. And based off of what grade you got in your college class, you would get a 10% added onto the grade for high school. And that would just go on my transcript as I took that class at high school.
I will say though, like coming off of that, there are a lot of kids who like, I don't know if Kaitlynn can speak to this, but who kind of struggle in the end toward their college career because they've taken all of their GEs in high school, and then you have nothing else left besides all of your major courses, which are a lot harder generally than your GEs.
Well, even as like an academic advisor, they always tell you like, oh, you want to get, well, I don't know if always, mine did. They're like, you want to get all your gen eds out like your first 2 years.
No.
And I was like, fuck no, I'm not listening to you. I'm going to spread these out because I don't want to be stuck my 2 last years taking a full course load of 5,000 level psychology courses.
Yeah, no.
Like I want to mix that stuff up. And so, yeah, expectations, do not go in there and, finish all your gen eds in high school. Yes, do some, it'll help you. But like, don't finish them all and don't take them all your first 2 years or so of college, or else you're going to be fucked your senior year.
Yeah, so like speaking personally, because that is what happened to me, I took a lot of my gen eds because I was like, okay, I know I can pass these. Also, it corresponded with a lot of my classes that I had to take for high school anyways. But like Allison said, it came down to me instead of taking full-time classes, because I tried one semester where I had physics, organic chemistry, lecture, organic chemistry lab, molecular genetics, and then I had some like beer and wine class. Worst semester of my life. So then after that semester, I just went down to going to part-time, and I was just taking my like 1 or 2 classes that I knew would correspond well. But also what helped me was going to the regional campus my first 2 years. That's another expectation that I didn't have. I wanted to get into main campus.
People think it's so bad that you get in a regional, but like I tell kids all the time, I'm like, dude, if I would have known, I would have went to a regional. It's hell of a lot cheaper, like at least like $2,000 cheaper per semester.
At least, even if it's a regional campus or just a community college.
Yeah.
Like, I also wish I would have known that. I didn't know that I could transfer. I didn't even know that was a possibility, other than if I were like moving somewhere.
Yeah.
I would have rather saved my money. And I preach that now, and like, well, before in all my old videos, is like, please, like, do a lot of your classes as much as you can at a regional or a community, and then transfer to a big school, because at the end of the day, your diploma is still going to say Ohio State.
Literally.
This one makes me laugh. Megan said that she was told that teachers were going to be more serious in college. But then my bio teacher had a lightsaber in class one day.
No, literally.
I remember the first time one of my professors like dropped the F-bomb, and I was like, oh wait, I'm in college. Like, it was so funny.
Even students would literally ride fucking Razor scooters to class. They would wear their Snuggies in class. I had a bitch like cook fucking pancakes on a burner in class. Like, it's just, you just come to class, okay? They don't really care how you show up. I would hope this is steering away, just because as we get into like this day and age, I'm surprised that there's even still professors that do this. But at least Allison had some professors that wouldn't let you use any electronics in class.
I literally hate them, only because like some people like prefer to, like, I know Marissa, like you take notes on your laptop sometimes too, so it's just like quicker.
Especially if they don't have slides and I have to take notes of what you're saying, it's going to take me a lot longer to handwrite, whatever. So some professors will be stupid like that, or just anal about like electronics. A lot of professors still do not let, at least mine, do not let you to have your phone out. KMusic231 said that her high school justified many of their rules through protocols that they assumed college would have, which I think is always their reasoning, as far as even just like dress codes, or like why you can't wear a hoodie in class, you can't wear a hat, or you can't chew gum, or you can't eat. And like, it's just like, you're not going to be able to do this in college. And it's like, again, I had a girl literally make pancakes on a burner in my 600 person lecture hall. Like, you can do whatever you want in this class, but high school likes to put you in this little box and then use the whole like, well, college isn't like this as their reasoning to why you can't do certain.
No, literally, like dress code. Like, there is no dress code in college.
Amy said that she was always told that she'll never have free time in college, which I think it was a total reverse. Like, I feel like I had the most free time in college, but also kind of not. If you're working like a full-time job, that's different. But like in high school, when you have to wake up at 6 a.m., go to class until like 3, and then do an extracurricular until 6, and then maybe work at a part-time job until 8, like, that's, your whole day is fucking gone. But in college, you can really work around your schedule. So you might have an 8 a.m. class and then a 2 p.m. class, and you can work within that window, and like, you just make better use of your time if you're good at time management. So like, that is one thing that you have to be good at going into college, because you will have so much free time that you need to be good at like delegating when you're gonna do stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I used to take naps in between class all the time. There's a lot of free time.
This one makes me laugh. Mainly, I've never really gotten an unprofessional email, but I see them all the time on like Twitter or TikTok. But Haystacks said that I was always told that emails needed to be professional to my college professors. And I've seen some crazy emails that's like, hey class, I'm here getting drunk. My wife's drunk as fuck. I'm not going to grade your test tonight because I'm holding her hair back. I'll have your grades due tomorrow. Or like something crazy. And it's like sent from iPhone.
Sent from iPhone.
But
I have a few from my professor from OChem. He's like, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like, exams are not graded. I'm sitting here sipping my martini right now. Like, I'll get them out to you as soon as possible. Like, I can find them. They are funny.
Me, if I was a professor, but with my margaritas.
No, literally.
I've literally went to a bar with a professor. For OSU, at least, like, most of the Spanish teachers are like GAs. We're making like jokes about it the entire semester, and then finally, like, she was like, fine, after the last exam, we can all go out to 4th Street, and we all went out to 4th Street, and it was amazing.
That is so funny.
We're going to end today's episode on just a couple more that like we wanted to make apparent for y'all. Maybe not ones that you guys have specifically mentioned, but I will say that 1, your academic advisors don't always know what's best for you. I took at least 3 extra courses that my academic advisor said I needed to take that in the end shows up on my transcript as just like extra credit hours that didn't go towards anything. So like 1, that's money, and 2, that's time. So I just kind of had to do that shit on my own.
I never had that part, like that issue.
And maybe honestly it could be half of my fault because I was changing my fucking minor every other semester. So she didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Every semester, dude.
But that is all the time that we have for today's episode. We try to get through as much as y'all's like expectations as possible. A lot of them were repeats, but there were some that we didn't totally get to. If y'all would want to, a part 2 to this, definitely let us know. We could talk for days about this kind of stuff. I know that we already got a couple requests to do a part 2 for the sorority video.
Oh God.
But we hope you guys enjoyed. We hope that it was helpful for you guys, or like gave you some insight, or also just to see that like what you're thinking or what you've been told, you're not the only one, because everybody else has been told the same thing. And then hopefully give you some perspective of like, hey, that's not the case. Or maybe it is. I don't know, depending on what one you were told.
Literally at the end of the day, just remember, like, you're gonna get through it. At the end of it all, it's just a piece of paper. They aren't gonna look back on what your GPA was. They aren't gonna look back on what exact grade you got in that class. Like,
there's only certain jobs that might look at your GPA, but other than that, they just want to see that potentially you even have a degree.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
Also jobs don't care about that. But like, it's all just pointless shit, and we're all just fucking stardust floating on a rock through outer space.
And that will be for another episode.
We will catch you guys next week for your next Margarita Monday. Make sure you check in on the Kiss My Glass podcast Instagram for the drink of the week next week, so you guys can join in and have a drink with us. Also, don't forget to rate and subscribe and give us a review on wherever you guys listen to your podcasts. And we will catch you guys next week on Margarita Monday. Bye.
Bye.
Go Bucks.
Oh yeah, go Bucks. Woo!
We just wanna party, call me tequila shawty.